All right there, course two people. This is lesson 77, and we're doing percent of a number part 2. So let me show you what I mean. All right. Lesson, sorry about that, 77. Percent of a number, part 2. What percent of 40 is 25? Well, we're going to remember that of means multiply, is means equal, right? So I'm just going to use WP for my variable. I could use anything there. I could use the letter X. It doesn't matter. But if I use WP, that reminds me I'm asking for percent. So what percent of 40 is 25? Well, what do I need to do? It's multiplication, so we need to use division to solve. So I'm going to divide it. I'm going to set it up as a fraction, right? I'm going to put what percent of 40 is 25 divided by 40 divided by 40, because you remember that the fraction bar is also a division bar. Now, I'm going to reduce that down. I can reduce it down to 5 over 8. That just gives me smaller numbers, easier for my brain to work with. Now, I need to know percent, not fraction. How am I going to find percent? I'm going to divide 8 into 5, right? So, I'm sorry. First of all, I'm going to multiply by 100 for percent. So I have 125 over 2, because 5 over 8 times 100 over 1, 4 can go into 8 2 times, 4 can go into 125 times. Now I've reduced, so my number is going to be easier. So I have 125 over 2, divide 2 into 125, and you get 62. You still have 1 left over, so you're going to write 62 and 1/2%. Okay? I know, clear as mud. Here we go. Let me show you another one. Whoops, sorry. Here we go. What percent of 350 is 28 cents? I'm going to set it up the same way. What percent of 350 equals 28%? I'm going to divide both by 350. Okay, so I'm going to move my decimal over one place, so I have a whole number 35, which means I need to move this decimal over just one place, so I have 2.8. So can 35 go into 2? Of course not. Can it go into 28? Nope. So 0. So add a 0. Can it go into 280? Yes, it can. 8 times 280, you got 0 left. But it needs percent, right? So you're going to think of that 0.08 times 100. Well, what happens to that decimal? It goes to the right 2 places. Zip, zip, 8%. Okay? How about if we're given the percent, 75 of what number is 600? We can't just take 75 times 600. 600 is the answer. It's 75 over 100, right, because that's 75% in fraction form, of what number is 600? This is multiplication, so I need to divide, because it's a fraction. That's really going to be multiplying by the reciprocal, right? If I do this to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So I have 600 over 1 times 100 over 75. Guess what? We can reduce that down. Sorry, excuse me. And now we have 440 over 1, 100 over 5. Multiply across. I have 5 as my denominator, 4,000 as my numerator. I need to get a percent. So I'm going to divide, or not a percent, I need a number. So I'm going to divide 5 into 4,000, and I get 800. Now I could check to see if we did that correct by just putting 800 where the what number is. So 800, and if I say 75%, you know that's just a 0.75. That's 40, right? And then we do this. That's 56. 10, 60. Oh, I'm running out of paper. How many decimal places did I have? 2. So 600. What? Ta-da! So, excuse me. So 800 is correct because I just double checked my work. All right, we're still going. More examples to help our brains get a hold of this. 50 is what percent of 40? You're going to write 50 is what percent of 40? I need to get rid of that 40, right? So I'm going to divide by 40. I'm going to divide by 40. And since I have 50 over 40, I can reduce that by dividing both by 10, getting rid of that 0, so I have 5 over 4. Now, I need percent, so I have to multiply by 100, because that's going to give me my percent. And if it makes your brain happier, think of it as 100 over 1. I can simplify, because 4 can go into 125 times. It can go into itself once. So now 5 times 25, excuse me, good grief, gets you 125 what? Percent. All right, let's do another one. 60 is 150% of what number? 60 is, now 150% is really what? 150 over 100. I can do that, right? Divide by 10. If I divide that by 10, I'm going to get 1.5. It's just a smaller number, easier to do. So 1.5 of what number? So I'm going to divide by 1.5. I'm going to divide this by 1.5. I'm going to move my decimal, so I have 15, a whole number. 15, and since I moved this one, I have to move this one. So 15 goes into 640 times. Okay, so 60 is 150% of what number? 40. Alrighty? If we didn't believe that, let's see if it works. So, 60. 40 times 150%, or 1.5. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's exciting. We did it correctly. Ta-da. Okay. You're like, yeah, Mrs. Venzela, whatever. Don't worry, here's more. Here we have 24 is what percent of 40? We're going to do what? Divide both sides by 40. Really? And then I'm going to reduce this fraction to 3 over 5, and then I'm going to multiply times 100 to get my percent. And 5 can go itself once. 5 goes into 120 times. 3 times 20 is, ding, 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 60. So my answer is 60%. Now let's do another one. What percent of 6 is 2? What do I have to do? You know it. I have to what? Divide by 6, because I multiplied. So I'm going to do the whole thing. Divide by 6. Divide by 6. Can I reduce that? Yes, I can. 1 what? Third, right? Now 1/3 times 100 to get my percent is going to be 100 over 3. 3 goes into 100. How many times? I don't know. Let's do it. Goes in there 3 times. That's 9. Goes in there 3 times. That's 9. And I got 1 left over. So it's going to be 33 and 1/3%. Okay, 33 and 1/3%. See how I did that? Let's do another one. Here they give us the percent. So 15% of what number is 45? All right, so what do I need to do? I'm going to first write 15 as a fraction, or 15% as a fraction. So that's 15 over 100 times what number is 45? Okay, so times what number is 45? So it's multiplication. What do I need to do? The reciprocal. All right, so the reciprocal of this, I'm going to put it over here, will be, because I'm dividing 45 by 15 over 100. In order to divide, you really multiply, right? So I'm going to have 100, 15. Now I can cross cancel. I know 5 can go into both of these. So 5 can go in here, 3 times, 5 can go there, 9 times. Oh, look, 3 can go in itself once, 3 can go into 9 3 times. Now I don't have a denominator anymore because they're 1, so I'm going to get a whole number as my answer. 3 times 100 is, easy, 300. 50% of 300 is 45. Let's say I don't believe that. So I can double check it. 300 times 15%, which would be 0.15. Oh, look at that. It's 45 because I have 2 decimal places. Oh, we are so smart. I can hardly. Oh, look. Secret word, Smarties, because we are so smart. All right, for the practice set, I want you to do D, E, and F. Then I want you to do all these problems, but I want at least through 12 done before class. We got 1, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want those done. At least, if not all of them. 14, 15, 16, 19, 22, 24, and 30. All right? That's what I want done. I will see you in class. Good night.